You mentioned TMZ. There's one of the best caller comments ever. You know how they have those people pop in at the end?
Yes, those are always funny.
Did you watch it today, Brandon? Will you cue it up? It's about 8 minutes left in the episode.
I didn't get that far.
You were down here when we were watching it, Brandon, so I think you know which one we're talking about. They're manufacturing a story about Full House. And what's Uncle Jesse's name? Guy tour.
John Stamos.
Why am I forgetting his name? John Stamos is really upset.
Is that, by the way, can I say something about that show? Have people gotten more mileage out of being on that stupid show
Full House?
than any stupid show ever?
Probably. That was a great show.
The Olsen twins are billionaires.
Everyone knows everyone from that show. Everyone is still revered, and I just wasn't. The show was not for me.
Well, you were a little
just thought
older,
it was a stupid show.
But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a pretty big deal. You're right. But I mean,
the funny thing
I just don't hold it in the same esteem as, The Office or Seinfeld or.
Without a doubt.
I mean, I guess a lot of people, if you were the right age, you probably loved it.
So Stamos, you can keep rolling just till you get to the.
And they're all pretty nice guys too. Dave Coulier has done really well,
I actually like their real personalities better than their characters' personalities.
I mean, the idea that this show launched those people, all those things is kind of weird because they all have done well.
So Stamos is very upset that the Olsen twins did not participate in Fuller House. He was on a podcast talking about it. So back it up a little bit.
Because they're billionaires.
Why would they be, right? And that's kind of the manufactured story.
Was there really that much demand for Fuller House?
It did well.
And was it fuller? Were there more people in it than before?
Now you're sounding like Harvey.
I'm just asking. Why was it Fuller House?
Because it was because you didn't want to just call it Full House 2?
Well, but if it's Fuller House, then there have to be more people in it. It sounds like there's less people in it because the Olsen twins aren't in it.
Wow.
I'm not even going to comment on it. Let's just roll it now.
But they had everybody else pretty much in there. Fuller?
Well, we now know why it got canceled, right?
Bad title.
I'm Adam X. I'm from Coachella Valley, California, and I'm really, really upset because that's the show that launched their career, and I thought that maybe they would come and at least Skype in and say, "Oh, we're here at college, like, hi guys." But no, I mean, I understand why John Stamos would be upset.
Oh my God, I am so happy. I wanted to talk.
You can kill it there. That guy is so pissed off.
He's really that mad.
He's so livid that the Olsen twins didn't even Skype in.
Wouldn't that be a little phoned in, quote unquote, for them to Skype in?
Yes.
He couldn't show up for one day.
That was the least.
Just came by to see how everybody's doing.
That was the least this guy wanted.
We're here for the holidays.
And Harvey went on a rant just like you did about it being called. We only caught the very end of it about being called Fuller House and not
the whole rant or just part of it.
Well, back it up. We can watch the whole thing. I
want to see the whole rant now to see how common I am for having the same ideas as Harvey.
Leaders of giant media outlets.
I don't really want to be on the same page as Harvey all the time. I like Harvey, though. Harvey's okay.
I love the chemistry between him and Charles, and by which chemistry I mean they have none.
No, Charles is annoying.
And he goes on to say that they do have a close relationship.
These tools behind the scene, I can't stand these guys.
What they're talking about.
They clearly retired from acting. They're in fashion.
Because he would have thought that there was some nostalgia. No, Devin's right. He was nostalgic about it. I'm sure he probably thought they were nostalgic about it. Here's my problem. It's like, how is it a fuller house if there are fewer people? It should be less Full House. Empty nest. Not enough people.
That was already a show.
But they had everybody else pretty much in there. Fuller?
Well, we now know why it got canceled, right?
I want to hear my man again.
Bad title.
I'm Adam X. I'm from Coachella Valley, California, and I'm really, really upset because that's the show that launched their career.
I'm really,
and
really
I thought
upset.
that maybe they would come and at least Skype in and say, "Oh, we're here at
Look
college."
at his eyes.
Like,
He's hot
hi
in the
guys.
collar,
But
man.
No, I mean, I understand why John Stamos would be upset.
Oh my God.
He looks like he would like almost punch a hole in the wall over it.
Well, yeah, the Olsen twins are very ungrateful towards Full House.
Okay, they are. Honestly, they truly are. That show made them, and they're like, fuck Fuller House. Maybe they were pissed about the title. Maybe they agree with me and Harvey.
Yeah, but if they would have been on, it would have been Fuller House.
Just to show you the idiocy of these tools who are in the background, who they put on a mic occasionally. Brandon, can you go back to I think it's the first story is Britney and the Hawaii thing.
Oh, great.
And they all analyze like, well, that Britney feels blah, 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 blah. And they all act like they've been talking about it all day.
They probably have.
With people who have something to do with it.
Charles here. So we told you about a week ago that Kevin Federline is planning on moving to Hawaii.
I mean, like we're not talking about two idiots.
That he shares with Britney Spears.
Both unemployed.
So to speak. There is a potential snag here.
Yeah, the snag is they're trying to get Britney's sign off on this move.
Whoa.
And they haven't heard anything.
It doesn't feel like
so
it.
What we know is that when we broke this story, we said that, look, I mean, Kevin Federline effectively
Let's get
has
to the
full
peanut
custody
gallery,
of these
please.
kids.
That is
He
the
has
coolest photo of him I've ever
100%
seen.
legal
Look at what an
custody.
asshole.
He effectively got physical custody of
What? I thought Federline looked pretty sweet there.
And he wants to move his
He is
family
raising the
over there.
kids. I got to hand it to him.
It's the coolest dad I've ever
Britney
seen.
would not object to it. She hasn't objected yet, but her lawyer needs to send a sign-off letter to Kevin's lawyer, Mark Vincent Kaplan. That just has not yet happened.
Yeah, how hard can that
the
be?
issue now is, does this
Bring in the
potentially
peanut gallery.
hold up the move?
Look at that
Kevin is
idiot,
certainly
Britney, walking through a crowd.
A move that says he's
Look at
not
that
waiting
idiot
for it.
all by himself,
He wants to
Kevin
move
Federline.
August 1st, so that is
The juxtaposition of her with this
American
giant crowd.
flag hat.
And him just there by himself.
How could he not believe in America, Kevin Federline?
And
I mean,
he can't do
worked out
anything
pretty good for
because
him.
The way custody works is that when you have any kind of a custody arrangement like this, to move out of state, you got to get
It's
approval.
just basically because
either from the
she's a
judge or the other
fucking
person's
bitch
gotta
and she
waive
won't
their
sign it.
rights.
You don't have to explain
And
all of
if
this, Harvey.
Push comes to shove, and Kevin's lawyer doesn't hear from Britney's lawyer.
So then-
in the next
I mean,
couple
like,
of
this
days,
is so important in the scheme
So
of
they're gonna have
things,
to go
too.
to
This
court.
one signature
And
that she just
Lead
lazily won't
story.
sign.
right
Without Britney,
right.
which I would
And
think
after all this,
is a done deal.
we're going to
right?
get the peanut gallery.
a done deal, but also probably causes
Great
down
chemistry.
the road some conflict with Britney.
Oh, no.
Some
Yeah.
friction.
Well, it's a done deal because, look, everything we know and everything that is true, Britney doesn't see these kids. She's not part of their day-to-day life. I mean, if Kevin is the providing parent, he has 100% legal custody and essentially 100%
They just
physical
said
custody
that.
over the last year or so.
They did.
A judge is going to side with that. But like you guys said, the issues that this is going to cause, we have seen when
This
she's
file
upset
footage of
with
Kevin.
decisions
I know,
her
it's great.
kids have made or things her kids have said or things that haven't gone her way. I think she kind of uses those against people in public, right? And she gets her fans against these people and even against her own kids. And I can just see that maybe spiraling.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Look, I mean, the reason they're moving there is Kevin's wife, Victoria.
And wait till you see the fan comment at the end.
Oh, they're the best.
From a university
Wait,
there in
that's
the
his
sports
chick
department.
now?
She's,
Yeah, he's been with her for a while.
Yeah, she's very, very pretty.
And they can't really
Britney-esque,
cement
isn't she?
that
Yeah, a little
until they get approval
But
to
she's not
move.
nuts.
There's not going to be an issue with
Yet.
the kids really so much because one is 16, one is 17. The 16-year-old is already learning remotely, so that's not going to be an issue in terms of enrolling.
I mean, just to know all
Kevin's
this is just
gotta get
so
jobs there. They
stupid.
plan on doing this August 1st.
dopes.
I don't think this
Yeah,
is
we're
going
going
to
to
be
barely
held up.
finish high school, and then they're just going to get Britney's money at some point.
It doesn't make sense.
Just waiting for her to
because
die.
I think this is all a
don't
reason for
believe
TMZ to
anything
show
when
this
you go to
B-roll
court.
of Kevin walking around because it's great.
It's possible that the judge is going to say sure, but
Can we get somebody else from the peanut gallery,
why
please?
do it that way if the
I don't know how
if
you
get
spend
somebody
this
a
much time
letter
talking about these two
from
idiots
Britney's lawyer
signing
that
one
exactly.
piece of paper.
Hey guys,
Here we go.
Victorious Rebel here, coming from the Pacific Northwest. You know, as a mother of two older teenagers myself,
Yeah, I can relate.
I don't foresee this being an issue either.
Oh, really?
They're coming into their
Then
own
why hasn't she
individual
signed it?
selves at this point. They're
coming into
They're
their
going to be
own.
able to decide where they want to go.
Yeah, and their
Yeah, but she has
view
to
of
sign
this
it, you
is
idiot.
something a judge really seriously
not
considers,
listening to them
especially
repeat the
at
same
age
thing over and over?
No.
at this point. Okay, we are moving on to
Okay,
something
yeah,
just
about time.
really
I thought there was more peanut gallery action than there was. Sorry about that.
Yeah, wow.
Lead story.